Have you ever considered the cost of hatred? I never realized how truly expensive it could be until I stepped into a store where it was being sold. As a curious customer, I found myself face to face with an eager salesman ready to make a sale. "I'd like to buy a cup of hatred," I said, intrigued by the concept. With a smile and a knowing look, the salesman asked if I could afford it. Intrigued, I inquired about the price. Little did I know, the cost of a cup of hatred was far greater than I could have imagined. Taking a deep breath, the salesman began to list the costs. First, it would rob me of my inner peace, leaving me in a constant state of turmoil. It would burden me with incurable worries, gnawing at my thoughts and stealing away my joy. Hatred would consume my heart, poisoning it with bitterness and resentment. Every time I laid eyes on the person I hated, I would be overwhelmed with deep bitterness. Their success and joy would become a painful reminder of the hatred I held within.
Instead of celebrating their achievements,
I would search for reasons why they didn't deserve it. My exhaustion would grow as I became weary of their presence, unable to escape the negative energy that hatred creates. Even their laughter, once a source of joy, would bring sorrow and pain to my heart. While others were planning their futures, hatred would consume my mind, diverting my thoughts towards bringing them down. But the costs didn't end there. The Spirit of God would leave me, and I would become a dwelling for demons. Hatred would take a toll on my health, causing various ailments like high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, cancer, liver disease, kidney disease, and more. Not only would I suffer physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Hatred would lead me to harbor bitterness, grudge, unforgiveness, malice, anger, jealousy, envy, and resentment. Prayers or medication alone would not be enough to heal the wounds inflicted by hatred. I would have violated both natural and spiritual laws. In the midst of this revelation, I interrupted the salesman. I realized that hatred was far too expensive, far too costly. I couldn't afford to pay such a high price, so I made a choice. Why should I invest in something that only brings destruction and despair when love is so easily accessible and free? Inspirational thoughts from great minds echoed in my mind. Buddha wisely said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule." Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can. And Mahatma Gandhi taught us that forgiveness is the attribute of the strong, not the weak. So I made a decision. I vowed to avoid gossip, bitterness, and anger. I understood that what I heard about someone could fuel the flames of hatred within me. I refused to let hatred cut my life short, knowing that the person I plotted against had likely moved on to success and prosperity, leaving me trapped in negativity. Instead, I chose love. Love over hate. It's the easier, cheaper, and more fulfilling path. Love stops the cycle of hate and brings true peace and happiness. It is the antidote to all the pain and suffering caused by hatred. So let us all embrace love and reject the costly burden of hatred. In a world filled with hatred, let us be beacons of love and compassion, for in the end, love is the only way to true peace and happiness.